Some of you guys who follow me a little longer on YouTube might remember the video in which I compared an older Baikal Makarov CO2 pistol from 1999 with a newer one from 2009. Now in 2012 Baikal came up with a new generation of this Baikal Makarov CO2 pistol called MP-654K. The most two noticeable changes on the new generation is the more realistic looking muzzle and the frame size. The old generation Makarov from Baikal uses a PMM frame, which is a broader frame that accommodates the double stack 12 round magazine, whereas on this new generation, this is the PM frame. This is the actual Soviet era military service pistol, the Makarov PM, which has a thinner frame that accommodates the single stack 8 round magazine. Along with this change comes the fact that you get an original Bakelite grip with Soviet Red Star on it, and as you can see my grip has a lot of wear and tear, and my guess is that this grip was actually used on a service pistol. On the one hand, they have improved the new generation Baikal Makarov CO2 pistol with an original Makarov milled slide. This slide still has the cutout for the extractor claw, as you can see, but on the other hand they have screwed up miserably, because in order to insert the magazine with the CO2 bulb into the pistol, they had to cut away two pieces that connect this front part of the frame with the back part of the frame. And now if you hold the frame firmly in your hand, you can squeeze these two parts together, and as you can see, the frame moves inside your hand, which feels ridiculously. This was a very bad move from Baikal. They should have used the PMM frame for this new generation too. You can hear and see the frame moving in my hand. Another point I dislike is the fact that the magazine gets stuck on the magazine release, and they unevenly fitted the grip to the frame. As you can see, there's a lot of air between the frame and grip. And another very bad decision they have made is they have riveted the hammer spring to the frame and not attached the hammer spring with a bracket anymore, like on the older generations, which was very easy to disassemble. Now you cannot disassemble this gun very easily anymore, and you cannot put the bracket back on that slides very easily on and off, because they have removed a part of the rail system on the frame. These are the things that they have changed to the worse, in my opinion. As I already mentioned, they have put an original Makarov slide back on the newer generation Baikal Makarov CO2 pistols. The slide has even the cutout for the extractor claw, and you can see rust spots on top of the slide that they have tried to remove. So this slide, and I guess also the grip, was on an actual service pistol in Russia, or in Soviet Russia. They also removed material on the left side of the slide to get rid of the original markings and put on their CO2 markings with caliber, serial number, and also on the frame. The slide is blued and the frame is packerized. The Baikal Makarov CO2 pistol functions almost like the real Makarov, except for the missing blowback function. So the slide isn't retracting automatically after each shot. In order to shoot in single action, you have to manually cock the hammer. The same goes for the slide catch lever. If you want to lock the slide in the rearward position for whatever reason, you have to manually push the slide back and push up on the slide catch lever to lock the slide open. To release the slide, you can either push on the slide catch lever, or you pull on the slide a little and let go. The slide catch lever will release from the slide and move downward. The CO2 Makarov pistol has also, like the real Makarov, a double and single action trigger. Double action pull is kinda heavy, trigger travel is long, and you don't have a break point or a let off point. In single action mode, the trigger travel is reduced, also the trigger pull, and you have a noticeable break point, but it's kinda mushy. The safety lever on the CO2 pistol works just like on the real Makarov. Downward position, you can fire the pistol in double or single action mode, and the top position is the safety position in which the trigger is blocked, hammer also, and the slide is locked. You cannot move it back. The safety also works as a decocker, which decocks the hammer if cocked. The sights on the CO2 pistols are fixed, except for the rear side that you can tap to the left or right. You can also see two markings, one marking on the slide and one marking on the side itself, to adjust for windage. The magazine release button is located beneath the grip, behind the magazine, that you have to push back to release the magazine out of the pistol. Disassembly works just like on a real Makarov. First you have to remove the magazine, then make sure the safety is off to retract the slide. Check if the gun is loaded. In this case the CO2 pistol is unloaded if you have removed the magazine. Push the trigger guard down and let it either rest on the left or right side of the frame, and push on the slide, pull it up and let it go forward, and you can remove the slide from the frame. All inner working parts are 100% identical with a real Makarov, so you can actually use parts of a real Makarov inside this CO2 pistol here. You can see the hammer, the ejector, the sear, slide catch lever. Barrel is rifled, and the CO2 pistol even has the actual original Makarov recoil spring. It's very stiff. You can also remove from the barrel. Now you have the frame, spring, magazine, and the slide. As I mentioned, the slide is milled. It's not a cast steel slide like on the old generation Baikal Makarov CO2 pistols. You can see the milling or machining marks inside. They completely removed the breech block, and that's it for disassembly. Assembly goes in reverse order. Put the recoil spring back onto the frame, take your slide and pull it back on the frame, release the trigger guard and insert the magazine. Pistol is assembled. With the Baikal Makarov you get a simple cardboard box, this time with colored printings, your serial number, history in Russian, production date, this is the production date, model, 200 steel BBs, a spare seal, and a short instruction manual in Russian language and in English. Pause the video if you want to read. The instruction manual is even signed personally and with your actual serial number of your pistol. That's what you get with your pistol. I have paid 124 or roughly 125 euros for my Makarov.